Good afternoon, YouTubers. Sitting here on the back porch taking pot shots of the occasional squirrel. Got a winter storm rolling in. Ever famous line, all game stirs before a storm. Squirrels are antsy, but they're very cautious. Now that a lot of the leaves are gone, it's hard to hide from them. They see you coming. I'd like to briefly talk about a concept today called the S-word concept. The S-word concept, and that is a prepper concept. Being prepared, preparedness mindset, preparedness and physical needs. Here in the South, every time it snows, every time somebody says the word snow, all the bread and milk disappears off the store shelves. Sometimes eggs too. We go crazy buying these perishable foods. Rarely imperishable food. Imperishable food disappears when a hurricane's coming. Bread disappears when snow is coming. It's such a common thing. And I remember when I used to work at the grocery store there in town in Coates, we knew that there was a snowstorm coming, then we were going to be restocking bread all night. And when we ran out, people were going to start getting mad. And people get there, they're pushing, they're shoving, they're antsy, they're after the bread, they're after the milk, they're after whatever it is they think they need because the storm is coming. The reason for that is that they are not prepared ahead of time. Now, I was raised in a rural agrarian society. Both of my families on both sides, my grandparents, all came from farm families. But particularly my mother's father was a squirreler, I like to call it. He would squirrel away canned foods. He'd have a whole barn full of food at times. I mean, canned Viennes. He'd have aging hoop cheese in his barn. He'd have canned vegetables, and he'd just have stacks of these flats of canned goods. And it was just so, all of us, maybe someday the store's closed, maybe someday there's some kind of economic problem. No, there was no specific purpose in mind except for generalized readiness. That is the definition. When I say the S-word concept as it relates to prepping, I'm talking about generalized readiness. There is a general lack of generalized readiness even in certain facets of the prepper community, with caveats of course. But much of the prepper community has some specific impending doom that they're prepared for, and so they put all of their resources into this one item, such as gas masks or nuclear protection or something like that, and that's what they start with. They putting all of their time, energy, and resources, all of their throwaway money into this one object, this one impending catastrophe that's very specific and very pointed. And you see it in the TV show. You're like, oh, we're preparing for massive tornadoes. Isn't it much more likely that there's going to be an ice storm? We're preparing for large-scale nationwide famine. I could much more foresee getting laid off and having to tear into my emergency food supply. Or a company closing down. All of a sudden you're out of a job, getting an injury, and your disability runs out. And when it comes to food, simple things such as snowstorms, hurricanes, other natural disasters, fires, things that damage infrastructure, things that hinder transportation, things that limit what you can just run to the store and get. Maybe the store closes down. Maybe there is an economic downturn, a localized economic downturn. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Just because something's localized doesn't mean it is not a end of the world as we know it situation for the people there. When your home is underwater, it's a end of the world as you know it situation for you. When you are in an alley surrounded by muggers that's when things are hitting the fan. That's when it's go time for you. It might not be a worldwide catastrophe. It might not be the zombie apocalypse. But general preparedness. General preparedness. Whether it's a snowstorm, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's the possibility of an on-the-job injury or off-the-job injury, get in a car wreck on the way to work. There's one, but he's too far out. Maybe if I shut up, he'll come over here. Generalized preparedness. Think about that.